Hello and welcome to the edited level 2 assignment 2 portal trim. These levels have been edited based on feedback that will be discussed throughout each level, with changes explained as necessary. Please note that all levels are being loaded live during this video straight from our in-house made level editor. Now, with that said, here's level 1. It's not very different from the first iteration. You may have noticed that all of our walls have changed color. This is to prevent the portal gun from being used in any such manner. And just like before, same box, same circular hole that the player can't do anything with. Player would eventually find this button, power it, realize that they got a sphere. This would tell the player that circles can go in circles, boxes go in boxes. However, after teaching them that the orange means it's powered on in, I guess, a positive, they would realize, oh, this set of stairs has gone down while the second set has gone up. The second set has one set of power going to it. The first one has two sets now. Well, what's going on here? How do I turn this off? Well, I know I can't move that sphere off without lowering this and raising the first. But if I place my cube here and block it, I now have turned off the second source of power. Thus teaching the player that, hey, things can be powered on and off, and there are two types of boxes. Now this, as they walk up, oh, another button. I'll walk on it. Ah, that turns the door on and opens it. Oh, door is now closed. I see this box. If I place it here, I can now walk on through. This has not really changed much from initial feedback. Outside of ensuring all walls cannot be have a portal placed on them. And additionally, we have added this one laser off in a safe section of the game to state how things can be powered on by multiple sources or powered on and off. Now, going on to our new level 2. So in our level 2 currently, we have added some pillars. This is mostly for aesthetic reasons as well as just general placement. Here you can see that we have a bunny hop panel that goes to this target location. The purpose of this is to help guide the player early on. The bunny panel itself is actually never seen in game, as it is covered on all sides in a essentially one cube block. Additionally, there is no, if I can pull it up, laser relays, as there were originally in the beginning of our level here, and the 3 that were over here but have been removed. Now, starting the level, we do see a few noticeable changes because of the pillars. One of those changes is that the laser is nowhere near as long as before, with its power location uh, being closer due to said pillar. Now, with the player realizing that this can be powered on and off, well, actually, when they enter, the player will still only see this being powered on. They may look over here and realize that this laser has powered it. So they'll probably say, hey, what can I do? Oh, well, this just pulls me over close to it. There's nothing I can do. I look around, still nothing I can do. I got this murky sludge water. I can pick this up. I guess I'll stop the laser. What happens if I turn this off? Well, because this is a new type of box from the original sphere and cube, instead what happens is that the reflection cube will take that laser and point it out in the direction the player is looking. Always in the direction away from the player, as you can see here. Now, another thing we added from that rocket jump is a bullseye target. This is just to help the player understand, hey, fire it there. Of course, it's a little high, so the player will likely give up, walk over here. Now realizing that, hey, the blue pushed me away while the orange pulled me in. I see another set of dotted lines and a square related to another one. Now, the player can probably hear that this is being dropped into the water. For some reason, our cube keeps bouncing straight into the said water. Now, this isn't going to cause problems as it is set to auto respawn, but it will be something for future developers to look into. Now, because our player has already seen one of these cubes over here and knows that, hey, that thing right there can be powered on if I fire a laser at it. Thus, having the bullseye act as a early guiding system for where the player should place the first said cube for our second cube to properly turn on and activate the second set. Please note that while the player can jump, that they are likely to go through here as it is safer. And in case if they haven't realized, originally while the first walkway was orange, this second orange one will immediately clue said player in. And because we have already demonstrated that if they didn't find that square the first time while being pulled in, they still have an opportunity to see it. We got another squared one here, but no dot. So what is it doing? Well, I walk on it. Oh, that turned to blue. Now it's orange. Oh, and I see that we have a cube here. So we can place it down. Boom. Immediately, yes, I see. We can change them from orange to blue. Orange pulls us in while blue pushes us out. Now, with the player on this final stretch of the level, there is nothing that they can do to proceed this way, but they see that the end of the level, the door is already open, meaning there's nothing to power it, and that they just need to get straight over there to finish the level. However, pressing this button immediately turns on this platform. However, it moves faster than the player can reasonably get, teaching them that there are timers. Now, having said that, this platform is set so with the maximum amount of 30 seconds. This is because it allows it to get to this end twice while also managing to reset itself at its original location. So, what can we do here? Well, there's a laser here, and it's unlikely the player has learned to hold control to crouch yet. If they have, they can move straight up. But there's nothing over here. Just a platform. Or sorry, a pressure plate. Ah, I see that it's opened up a cube here. Well, we know cubes can block lasers, so what about if I, put it in and drop it? Well, now it's not blocking the laser, but when I hold it, when I'm holding it, yep, that's the key. Just gotta hold it while I'm moving up the stairs. Teaching the player that the cubes are held in different heights in world space of the game. Now, because we already know that this was powered on, even if the player hasn't realized that it was keeping this platform in its off state, because we can see that this X and that are now connected, turning it off has turned on the platform. Turning it off to turn it on. Interesting. This means that, hey, I am basically done this level. I can walk onto the platform, walk off, and complete the level. Now, quickly going over why we removed the laser relay. We found it to be unnecessary, as it added additional complexity that our playtesters didn't really like, as well as confused some general audience members, as it being powered on and off caused confusion. I don't think I have made any changes, but just to be safe, we will save. Now, here is the new level 3. As you may be able to tell, it is very different from our original level 3, both in layout and design. We have completely removed the turrets from level 3, and instead we decided to focus mostly on our laser field. This was because in order to trim down anything, we decided we should trim down the turrets, as they had a higher level of complexity than our laser field, as well as being just more dangerous and causing the player the harm of potentially dying. So, here we are with our level 3. We got this little area over here, but we can tell that there's nothing we can do. And we have this laser field. Now, the player would not have recognized what a laser field is yet, but they will recognize this cube and this plate here. If they walk over to the plate, oh, there's this thing. Oh, there's nothing. It moves too fast for me to actually get there. Here, let me grab this cube and walk on over. Doing so actually destroys said cube. Well, let me try again. Oh no! That's right, just this laser field will teach the player that, hey, we can't have things go through them. And if for whatever reason they didn't do that yet and continued to explore, we have this section here. Doing so, we can press this button, pick this up. Hearing the, I hope you can hear this, but we do have it set to another 30-second timer. And walking around our little obstacle course with this cube shows, hey, I gotta get the cube to here without going through these laser fields. This is because if the player didn't use the first cube through our first set of laser fields, the second set will ensure that they do. We can place our cube here. We have this. So I'm bounced up here. And here is the target from level 2. It is, in fact, the other end of our bunny hop. Now, we do have our exit door right here. However, I can see that, it needs 2 sets of power. We got a square, so there's a area, there's something with a square that needs to be powered on. And this set of dots, well, if I follow all the sets of dots all the way down, I can see that there is a pressure plate down there. And that there is nothing for me to bring down there. The only way down is through here, and even if I was crouching, I am just slightly too tall. So coming back down, we have a sphere, and understanding that a sphere is round, the player is going to be instructed to essentially figure out on their own that, hey, this can be moved down. Oh, this does go downstairs, but this cube here is just slightly too high. So what will they do? Oh, well, because the players cannot die from any fall damage, and regardless if they're crouching, we already taught the player that these spheres and cubes and whatnot do move in world space. So what about if we had it just slightly move under the corner there? And now that we have essentially taught the player spheres can move downstairs, and doubled ensured that they know how to move objects in relation to world space, we have gotten 1 set of power to our door and another set of power to these objects. Now we're blocking our way. Now, let's say that the player realized, hey, there's something over there, maybe I have to toss the cube. And let's say they somehow manage to get it in. They learn how to jump, push it forward because they know things move in world space. Well, they can place the cube here. However, because it only accessed the other end for the door, and there is nothing that the player can do to really destroy this cube, as moving it here just causes a new one to spawn, and tossing it behind said walls just causes the player to later power them on to move them out of the way anyways. It will prevent any soft locking. With that said, we have completed level 3, and boom. Now, fun fact about level 3 that I would like to state before we continue. There is one thing the player can do to make our level even easier if they're really clever or have a hard time. For whatever reason, they can take our cube and place it by the end of it at the beginning. Powering it on. Because our cube is already at the end, they can walk through the laser field and boom. Now, our sphere sometimes does drop down as being a sphere. We decided to say that this isn't really a problem as let's say it does fall down. This only helps to teach the player that spheres are round and can move. And yeah, this concludes level 3, and thus all levels. Unfortunately, we still do not have a level 4 at this time.